Good morning, good morning, good morning. I know it's a rare, unusual time for Energized Live. It's barely even still morning. I know. And that's okay. Sometimes it's fun to do something different. It's fun to do something different. So it is Energized Live, mid-morning, almost not morning, sort of morning, but not really morning, 11 a.m. It's going to be down, dirty, short, quick, all the things. Hold please, hold please. And
Oh,
hi!
hello!
I mean, just
What's
like
up?
that, boom, there you are. I just I just said, let me turn my volume up. I just said we have stuff to talk about today, and then
And I just
there you
magically
are.
appear.
You magically appear, the person that we're going to talk about it with. So listen, Energized Live family. We just did a little Energized Live with the inner circle, the subscriber community, and kind of got deep into some good convo. And here we are, all access, Energized Live. Brad, this is a weird time at 11 a.m. They're all like, what is even happening right now? Like, where were you this morning and what's going on right now? And it's it's not even really a lunch and learn. It's like a mid-morning break. Like, just go get your water, go refill your water, go take a walk around. It's like a little mid-morning break. And yep, I got my water. Look, I even showered.
I just played Pictionary with my team.
I mean, look at the things that we do in 30 minutes. Look at the things we do. And we are on today because, my community has been listening to me talk. Well, first of all, they've been listening to me talk about you for like years. Secondly, they've been listening to me talk about you in regard to the free 5-day mindset challenge that's happening right now called Success Accelerator, which
Say
again,
that
there are
5 times
several
fast
things
and
that
it'll
are
come
hard
out
for me
Sex
to say.
Accelerator.
Success Accelerator, right. Sex Accelerator. So Success Accelerator is very challenging for me to say. Also, free 5-day group sometimes seems to be challenging for me to say. But here we are talking about both those things, which are actually the same thing. And the reason why we're talking about it today, the reason why we're doing a live is because today's the last day that people can get into Success Accelerator. And I was thinking about, the stories and the stuff that we've talked about and that we've shared over the years. And I think anyone that's been around us for any amount of time, we talk about this a lot, is, why I'm in Florida so much sooner than what I thought that we would ever be. And that's a story that a lot of people know. I think something that a lot of people don't know is the conversations you and I had and the power that you had, the influence you had in my life in really digging into the community that I was a part of and the community that I was building. And we talk about community so much. We talk about the power of community. But something I don't think I share nearly enough is, how your mentoring and your guidance and the questions that you asked me really helped me understand where I was, where I wanted to go, where the people that were in my community kind of aligned with that, kind of part of that. And how many times do we hear women say, well, I just don't have anybody in my life that supports me. I just don't have the right people around me. And you have to be so vigilant in seeking that out. And you have to get people in your life who will help you seek it out and create it, manifest it. I'm not going to tell you that the cultivating of a new community or a different community is easy. I am going to tell you that it's worth it. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy. I'm not going to tell you that there's not hard work, inner work, and healing that has to happen, but I am going to tell you that it's worth it. And I am going to tell you that had it not been for our relationship and your mentoring for me, I don't know when I would have started that process. I'm not sure when I would have had that clarity, and I don't know how much longer it would have taken. So I just think that that's something that we don't talk about that often. And it's really the power of community and mentoring and guidance and mindset work and all of that, which is just one of the many reasons why I'm really passionate about, all
Well,
of this that we do
I
with you.
appreciate you saying that, Julie. And it's I love what you said, that it's someone needs to take responsibility for seeking that type of a community out. And if you think about what these communities do, when you are in a high vibe, high energy community that intentionally challenges the limiting beliefs that have kept you stuck for years, there is no other option but up. You have to succeed, because when the wall gets closed in from the left, from the right, and from behind, you move. And so most people are involved in communities where their beliefs are not challenged. And it's called confirmation bias. We always try to seek out community and people that agree exactly with what we already believe. And if we're not around people that question us, different questions will change your life. Write this down, friends. Your life is a direct reflection of the quality of questions that you are asked. And by that, I mean by yourself and by other people. And so if you are not asking yourself empowering questions that challenge your limiting beliefs, then you will find that your life stays in the exact same place. So it's incredibly important that you immerse yourself in a community where asking challenging questions or asking new questions that perhaps you haven't heard before is the number one focus. And that's exactly what Success Accelerator is. It's going to take a look, it's going to say, hey, for 5 days, let's take a look at what we're actually asking ourselves. Let's take a look at what our actual beliefs are. And let's just try on something different. And if we try on something different, could that mean a completely new life to us? And that's what goes on in that community. And so it's something where right now you might be trying to build your own community, which is beautiful. But while you're building your own community, you also need to be immersed in the supportive culture of a community that challenges you. If you are not consistently around people that expect you to succeed, you will find that you are consistently pulled back to the way that things were. And so we need to be around people that not only support us, support's great, but it's not going to lead to our goals. We want support and challenge. And once we're in a community of support and challenge, and that challenge comes in the form of questions, just like we had talked about, like getting to Florida, what was the date, etc. What's the actual dream? Questions that challenge our existing beliefs. Questions that are like, well, are you sure about that? What would happen if you doubled the goal and did it in half the time? Right? Questions that cause us to just literally be different people. When we put ourselves in communities like that, the success that happens is so fast. It's almost like a 9-day difference. And we see this year after year. People come out of Success Accelerator and they're literally different people in 5 days because they started the process of rewiring their mind. Was that? Can you guys hear Julie? Is it just me? Hello? It's fuzzy. There you go. Wait.
Oh, there we go.
Hello. There.
Hello.
I can hear you, but there's a lag.
Okay. Let's just sit down out here.
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
Sit down. Technical difficulties. Okay, here we are.
What
now
were
we're
you saying?
good. I was thinking while you were saying that I hear a lot, because I work with women so much, I hear a lot, well, I'm just stuck and I don't know what to do. And I do not accept that in 2023. I do not accept that. I'm just stuck. Well, that's a feeling, not a fact. And I don't know what to do. I do not accept that. Not in 2023. Not when you have the greatest search engine in the world at your fingertips. Not if you're connected to people who are talking about personal growth and personal development. Yes, you do know what to do. Now, whether you do that or not, you have to take responsibility for that. But this idea of, well, I just don't know how to find a new group. I don't know how. I'm like, no, I do absolutely do not accept that. And especially if you're on this live, whether you're watching it live or via replay, or you're in my ecosystem whatsoever, or Brad's ecosystem whatsoever, yes, you do know what to do. You just haven't decided to do it, because the doing of it is going to require you to maybe face some limiting fears and doubts and beliefs, and it's going to require you to get uncomfortable. But here's the thing, Brad, do you want to be uncomfortable for a short amount of time and get some growth, or do you want to be comfortable and live an ordinary, average, crap life? I said it, crap. I said it. Because if you can't get uncomfortable and face that stuff so that you can get to the other side of it, you're going to get to the end of your life and wondering where your life went. So no, I do not accept the fact that I just don't know what to do. Yes, you do. You just haven't decided if you're going to do it or not. And we're giving you an option.
And to that point, Julie, I want to talk about two things you said, the stuck word and the how word. Let's talk about both of those for a second, because I think it's such a limiting thing that a lot of people say. I'm gonna start with the how and then go to the stuck. A lot of people seek out the how. And the reason they seek out the how is because they're craving certainty. They want to know that it's going to be okay. They want to know that they're going to have some guarantees that things are going to go in alignment with their expectations. And so what they'll do is they'll study a bunch of personal growth. They'll read a bunch of books and they'll study the how, but they mistake knowledge for knowing. Knowledge and knowing are not the same thing. Knowledge is I have a conceptual understanding. I have consumed information. And this is what most people do. They seek out the how. But a knowing comes from action. The only way you will actually learn something is to act. It is the only way to do it. There's a very big difference. And I used to live this. I used to just regurgitate personal development facts and teach people that way. And then I started challenging my beliefs and actually growing as a human. And now I have a knowing, so I can relate to people in a much deeper way. And so that only comes through action. But what that means is you need to suspend the craving for certainty and say, you know what? I am going to choose instead to go after what I want, fully trusting and believing that it will work out. And because it's always worked out. One of the greatest ways to find certainty without a guarantee is to just trust. And you've done this in other areas of your life. But what most people then do is they say, well, you know, I'm looking for the how, and I feel so stuck, going into the stuck comment. You said stuck is a feeling, and you're 100% right. Stuck is a state of mind that people use to rationalize why they are not taking responsibility for their life. It's literally the same thing as saying I'm overwhelmed. It's a state, it's a feeling. It's not a bad thing to have that feeling, but if you are living in that feeling, it's you saying I'm throwing my hands up, I give up, I'm not taking responsibility for my life. It's an excuse that makes us feel significant, and it makes us feel important. It makes us feel better about ourselves to say I'm stuck and to not act than to go after uncertain action, because the brain would much rather be certain and in a little bit of pain than uncertain and growing, because this thing craves certainty. So we need to stop rationalizing stuck as a way out of taking responsibility for what we fear. We need to stop craving the how, and we need to just get immersed in an environment where growth is a standard. I promise you, you will figure out how. It's just a matter of taking the action to actually make it happen. Does that make sense?
Yes. And, you know, I was thinking about this idea of like failure and perfectionism and this whole situation where people are like, well, I just don't want to try this because I might fail. I don't want to try this, I might fail. And I was thinking about this over the weekend because I was having conversations with some women and said, you know, when people would walk into my group fitness classes, when I would teach group fitness on the regular, people would walk into my group fitness classes. And I've taught for a long time. I've been, doing this for 22 years. And so I would have pretty large classes sometimes. And they would walk in, and there would be a lot of people who had taken my classes a lot. So they could teach the class sometimes. In fact, they sometimes would probably rather me leave and them teach the class. They could be in charge. And you walk into that, and there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people who know what they're doing, and you don't know what you're doing. It can be a little, make you a little anxious. And I would find those people, and I would go, let me tell you something. You're not going to know what's going on right now. For the next 60 minutes, you're going to have no idea what's happening. You're going to have absolutely no idea what's happening. So-and-so up there in the front row, you can follow her. You're not going to have any idea what's happening, but here's what I want you to do at the end of that. I want you to tell me if you moved your body, if you broke a sweat, and if you had food. And if the answer to those 3 questions is yes, then this is a win today, and I need you to come back because you'll get better. And the minute I just sort of put that out there and just said, you're going to suck today, and you need to be okay with that, they were like, oh, okay. And I feel like we should just do that more often. Like, what part of us expects us to go into anything, any new goal, any new dream, any new path, any new anything, and expect it to be easy, successful, just smooth, no challenge, we're just going to nail it? Because if you're a parent, you have to know that that's not true. So why would it not be true in every other aspect?
I have thoughts. Oh my goodness, I have thoughts. So this is so powerful. You said coming into the class, you're not going to know what's going to happen. You're just got to immerse yourself in it. You have to be willing to sit in that discomfort. You have to be willing to sit in the I don't know what's happening. And so if we think about life, the human brain is wired to crave certainty, like we had already talked about. It wants to know it's going to be okay. It doesn't like feeling uncertain. But all of growth exists in uncertainty. Every bit of growth in your life has happened when you have faced uncertain challenges. And so the reason I'm saying that is because everyone write this down, please. And this is what you're going to experience in this 5-day challenge this week. To the degree in which you can handle uncertainty is the degree in which you will succeed. To the degree, let me repeat because I know Julie's going to say, she's going to hold her finger like this. She's going to say, repeat that. To the degree in which you can handle uncertainty is the degree in which you're able to succeed. Most people try to stay certain. They try to make sure they know what's going to happen. But you have to be willing to sit in the I don't know. And you have to be willing to sit in the discomfort, because that's where a breakthrough happens. If you think about a marriage, think about the most passionate marriages. People say all the time that as I have the pleasure of being involved in Tony Robbins' mastermind. And it's full of people that are far older than I am, some people my age, some people far older than me. And they're in these marriages that are incredibly passionate and full of not just love, but deep, deep passion. And one thing I've seen firsthand, and keep in mind, I'm still pretty young, but I've seen firsthand that passion does not exist. People say passion does not exist as marriage goes into the future. And there's a reason I'm telling this. I'll come around in just a second to why. But that's not true. You don't want certain love. If you exist in a marriage that's just certain love, you're going to be roommates. You're going to be bored out of your freaking mind. All passion in marriage exists in uncertainty. That's where all passion in marriage exists. It exists in new things that you've never done before. That's where you'll feel alive. All growth in your business comes from doing something uncertain. All things that challenge you to grow with your health and wellness cause you to do something uncertain. Every part of your life that you want to expand and grow is completely dependent on your willingness to put yourself in uncertain environments, just like Julie was talking about with the group fitness class. You're not going to know what's going on. Just try to catch on. You'll figure it out. And that's what we need to get involved in. We need to get involved in uncertain environments that allow us to grow and allow us to use a different part of our brain. If for things to be different, you have to be different, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. Yeah. So anyways, uncertainty is the key, and we need to get in communities where uncertainty is the standard. And that's exactly what you're going to get in Success Accelerator.
And it's shifting that thought process around being uncertain, being a negative situation, and actually being uncertain is exactly where you want to be. And try to resist the urge to go back to older habits that might give you certainty, and really working in, no, I'm going to stay in the uncertainty because I already know what that gave me. So if I want something different, then I've got to go over here and live in this space where I don't really know what's happening, which seriously, Brad, is the definition of parenting. I mean, if you are, you have no freaking idea. So go ahead, you read all those books, cutie, but tell you right now, none of it makes a difference. You're just figuring it out every single day, but you know that, and you are willing to go through that uncertainty, and you're willing to go through that uncertainty it's like planting a tree that you're never actually going to see get to its full maturity. You're just going through the uncertainty, hoping they become really good humans without really ever knowing. So we have to be willing to do that to ourselves as well. And, you know, like we've said, you really have to be in spaces where that is fostered, where that's promoted, where that's sort of the norm. Like a space where, yep, we are going to talk about goals and dreams, and yep, we are going to ask questions that are challenging, and yep, we are going to expect you to know. And when you can't, you don't get to get out of the answer and go, well, I don't know, because then the question will be, well, what have you had to know? And as we know, and you have that is the requirement to live a life that looks like the vision board that you keep making every year.
Ooh, that's new quote. Uncertainty is the requirement for your vision board to come to life. Yep. I'm gonna write that down and quote you.
I said that. You said that. Said that. That's a JV.
Uncertainty is the requirement for your vision board. Good quote, JV.
Look at us. So today's it. Today's the last day for Success Accelerator, and you know, I talk about Success Accelerator. I talk about this program. I talk about Brad. I talk about working with mentors. I talk about mindset work. I talk about it because I've lived it and I know that it works. And I've both resisted the work and been in the work. And, you know, I share what I know works. I share what I've learned because I want to shorten someone's learning curve. I'm really passionate about women stopping playing small. And if you think you're not, I'm just telling you, you are. I'm just telling you that you are. We all are. We're all playing small. And I'm passionate about sort of pushing women off the cliff to stop playing small. And you've got to get in spaces where that's just not going to be allowed. We're just not going to let you do that. And we're going to ask you the questions, and we're going to support you in your goals and dreams. You know, I always say, like, these kinds of groups are the places where someone can go, I would like to start a llama farm. And we all go, all right, girl, let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Yeah, we don't care what the goal and dream is. We just want to get you to the place where you have one, and then we do the work that actually makes it happen. And that's going to require getting uncomfortable. It's going to require community. So
today was all about identifying where you actually are, not the BS story about where you are, but where you actually are, and then what you actually want. Because most people are setting dreams based on fear, based on past failures, not based on where they want to go. And so we did a couple of things. We first identified our starting point, our unique success archetype and what that means. And then we identified the big dream. And the whole goal of that was to trigger fears. And by the way, one thing I wrote in my notes is it's okay to be scared. The very act of saying, I'm afraid, is good because it lessens the fear. It causes you to not go back into old patterns. So the very act of doing what we did today, of identifying where we are and identifying where we truly want to go over this week in these 5 days, and I intentionally set up the content to trigger limiting beliefs within people, because I know that if people are setting big enough dreams, there's going to be a piece of them that says, well, how do I do it? I don't want to be seen. What if I don't do it right? Perfection, confidence. Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
And that's exactly what tomorrow's content is about. Yep. It's about all of those limiting beliefs that hold them back from achieving them. And so get in the group. The first day's video is pinned at the top of the page, so it's not too late to join. You can still join today. JB's got the link for you to enroll. It's not too late for you to enroll. Get started. Go back and watch day one's content today, and then show up live with us tomorrow morning for the content tomorrow morning, where we're going to break through the limiting beliefs that prevent us from going from where we are to where we want to be.
Lori says she's in it, and this morning was amazing. And I can vouch. I'm in a message thread with some of my people who are in it too. And I was telling you earlier today, it was just a lot of like mind blown emojis. Like that, just brains on the wall, mind blown emojis, like what? And I just, gosh, I think that's just so, I just want to stand on my roof and go, that's why you need to get in this group. Because otherwise, if you don't have those experiences, if you don't get in those places where your mindset gets shifted, your perspective gets shifted, I'm telling you, you'll get to the end of your life going, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Why didn't I sing? And you're going to look back and go, I had every opportunity. And there was, see, she's like, yes, and she's got lots of mind-blown emojis right there. Yes, lots of mind-blowing happening today. And that's where change happens. Because it's almost like, I think of it almost like a little crack. Like there's a little crack. And now there's like an opening for a new way of thinking, a new thought process, a new perspective. Oh, I never thought of it that way, you know. And then tomorrow there'll be another little crack. And then, before you know it, the brain gets cracked wide open and you're like, look at all that's out there that I can do. Look at my potential and my possibility that's right here in front of me. And you just got to get in spaces like this for that to happen. So you've got to get in today. Today is the last day. I'm in there. I'm going to be in there live later this week. Lots of people are going to be in there live later this week. And I don't know, if you know me at all, like I just can't lie about this stuff. I just can't. I can't make it up. I'm not, my children got the acting genes, the performance genes. I did not. And I just can't lie about it. I just couldn't keep showing up, saying it's awesome and it worked. I like, what am I, is this like all a green screen? Like I'm freaking living in Florida because of the work I did with Brad. Like this is not a movie set. Y'all, this actually is my life and it's free. So the fact that you might not take advantage of it, I think you need to re-examine that. I think you need to re-examine that, and you need to really ask yourself, are you just making the vision board because it's fun and aesthetic-y, or do you actually want to move your life forward?
So join us in the group.
Yeah, in the group. Like, just stop messing around. So I will put, well, the link is everywhere for that. I mean, it's in my profile. I'll put it in my story again. You can DM me, like, stop being, I just don't know how to join. It's 2023. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Link is in my profile. You can DM me. I mean, people DM me about the silliest things, like what straws are those? You can DM me about how to get in the group that can change your life, okay? So DM me, link on my profile. I'll put the link on my story.
I freaking love you.
People DM me about my sport.
Get a sport. It'll change your freaking life.
Change your life. You don't need to see the sport. You're done. You're good. You're good to go. Just get in there and absorb the awesomeness that is in this group, and stop acting like, hey, you're better than this, smarter than this, you're too cool for this, you don't need it. Unless you can say every single tiny bit molecule of your life is exactly how you want it to be, which no one can, then you need to be in this group.
I think we can close it with that.
I think so too. Okay, Brandon, you're awesome. I'll talk to you soon. I'll put the link up everywhere where everyone can find it. And
of course, my friend, and have an amazing day down in Florida. And remember, friends, uncertainty is the requirement for your vision board to come to life. JB Original.
That's true.
All right, friend. Have an amazing day.
True.
Talk to you soon.